Hi, I'm Tom Holland, and this is GQ Action Replay, and we're going to be watching my newest film, Cherry, directed by the Russo brothers. We shot all of this stuff that's in Iraq in Morocco, in a place called Ouarzazate, and I forget what the other place was called, but I loved it there. I thought it was amazing. Really, really nice people, very friendly. I thought the food was really nice. I've never really been in a desert before, so it was really interesting being in a desert. We rented these tents and all slept out in the desert and rode camels and stuff. It was cool. It was a really good time. I enjoyed it.
Are you seeing bad things?
Yeah, a little.
Are people getting killed?
Oh my God, that was so English, the way I said that.
Yeah, a little.
I need to change that. I'm like, yeah, a little, rather than a little. I'm just gonna make a note of that and say to them we need to record one more line before they release the film. Hang on. Little. Brilliant. A little bit of work there.
Are you sure you're doing okay?
I just miss you, that's all.
I miss you too. I love you.
Fuck!
It's interesting. Crying can sometimes be really easy, and sometimes it can be really difficult. The other day we were doing a scene on Spider-Man 3, and I could just turn it on. I was like, this is amazing. If I could do this every time, this would be glorious. And then other times you try and cry and you just can't. But yeah, there's all sorts of different ways. Sometimes I listen to music. Sometimes I'll have a real heartfelt conversation with someone that I'm close to. Could be my brother or Rachel or Anthony or anyone that I work with. Sometimes I have to think about things that have happened in my past that make me upset. Sometimes I have to think about things that could potentially happen that make me upset. There's all sorts of different ways to do it. You just have to be patient and not get stressed out when people are waiting for you. Her side of it was shot in Cleveland, and obviously my side of it was shot in Morocco. I honestly think that I did my lines with the first AD, who's like a 6'2", he's like this massive bloke. So it was slightly trickier because I didn't have Sierra there to do it with me. I was sort of crying on the phone, and Chris Castaldi is being like, baby, are you seeing bad things? And I'm looking at him like, what are you calling me baby for, man? It seems to be getting easier, and I cry like watching films now all the time. It's really embarrassing as well. I don't know what happened to me. Like I went through a phase where I'd never cry about anything, and now I reckon I cry 4 times a week. I don't cry 4 times a week, but I cry a lot. Starts crying now. No, I don't cry that much. I cry like all the time. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, we did quite a bit of combat training. I discovered that I would be the worst soldier in the world. I was obviously playing a medic in this film, and I did all this training to become a sort of medic, and when they would say action and the bullets would start flying and the explosions would start going off, I would just panic, and I was useless. I was absolutely useless. But that said, though, I really enjoyed it. It was a difficult part of the film to make. It was very physically demanding. I dislocated my ankle right before the scene that we just watched when I'm running towards the car. I was running, and I just rolled over on my ankle, and I sort of looked down, and my ankle was like looking the wrong way. And I was like, oh God, and then I stood on it and it kind of went, and it popped back in. So the last 2 weeks of shooting were brutal because my ankle was kind of well, not broken, but it wasn't the best. But yeah, it was an amazing experience to make a film like this. Wow, it's strange watching that again. Playing this character is one of the hardest things I've ever done, physically and emotionally. Sierra Bravo and myself, like where we went emotionally to kind of bring these characters to life was really difficult. So it's quite strange watching that again. that scene we shot on the last day. That was the last day of shooting. So a lot of that emotion there from that scene is very truthful because it's kind of me saying goodbye to the crew. It's such an amazing story, and it's made me realize how brave the men and women are who go overseas and fight for their country. And it's so sad that so many of them come home and don't get the support that they deserve and that they need. You know, people sometimes can't be medicated, they need to be treated. And therapy is something that has proven to help, and drugs is something that proves to make people's lives miserable. So I really hope that this film can be kind of a spotlight on a problem that is right on our doorstep, but it's an invisible problem, you know. Substance abuse, and especially the, you know, opioid epidemic, is a really sad one, and one that I really hope that we can kind of fight against. And I hope that this film doesn't glamorize war or drugs in any way, shape or form. I really think we were adamant to make this film be about not doing drugs rather than romanticizing it. I'm gonna keep watching. To lighten the mood, we called this, Rach, what was it? What did we call that thing on my head? The toupee? The pelt, that's what it was. Yeah, because I had a shaved head for the entire film, Rachel, my makeup artist, had to be really strategic in the way that we would plan all the different looks throughout the course of the story. And this look here is Cherry coming home from Iraq. And we really wanted to kind of do the short back and sides kind of thing, but I didn't have time to grow my hair. So we had this like pelt. It was like a stick-on kind of toupee. And it looked ridiculous, but when it was on, it looked really cool. But in the trailer, sometimes you'd see it and it just looked like there was a dead squirrel in the trailer. So yeah, so the toupee was great. And I'm gonna keep the toupee because my dad's not got the thickest head of hair, so I imagine one day I'm gonna lose my hair. But it's okay, because I have this glorious toupee that I can just throw on up there and I'll be all right.
Private First Class Jimenez was killed in battle. This soldier went on to take care of his platoon as well, serving 3 platoons in total to complete more combat missions
want to get the fuck out of here.
than any other medic in his
I just don't feel like I've done anything to go running into a gymnasium.
That is totally me forgetting my line there. Oh my God. That little pause where I go, I just don't feel like I've done anything to go running into a gymnasium about. In England, we don't say gymnasium, so that is me there, like, in my head, like, what's that fucking word again? Oh, gymnasium.
About.
It is my honor to present to you the Medal of Valor.
My one true accomplishment was not dying. I didn't really have anything to do with that.
Congratulations, Specialist.
Thank you for searching.
It's interesting, when you know, acting on camera, you spend your entire time not looking at the camera because it's called breaking the fourth wall. And in this film, we do it quite a lot, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever done because you spend so much time like drilling yourself, like, do not look at the camera, do not look at the camera. Then all of a sudden, the camera is now a part of the scene, and you have to address the camera and talk to it. And I suddenly became very self-conscious and aware that there are people watching you through the camera. So all of a sudden, it isn't just a camera anymore. It's like a portal, and it used to really stress me out. But obviously, I got over that stress, and the film was fine. I like my hair like that, you know. I might do that when I'm finished with Spider-Man 3. Cut my hair like that. I think it suits me. It was an interesting feeling putting on the army fatigues for the first time. There was 2 feelings. One, it felt really cool. It's quite a cool costume. But then there was that other feeling where I didn't deserve to wear it. I hadn't earned it. Something that you know, men and women really pushed themselves through a lot to earn the right to wear those uniforms. So I hope that through the hard work that I put into this film, people who our soldiers and our veterans will recognise that, and I hope that I can do their stories justice. But yeah, it was an amazing day wearing it for the first time, but a tricky one to figure out as well.
Emily drove me back to Ohio, and I got to see her new house. Started taking night classes at a school Emily was working at, and I got a job that paid $8 an hour.
I think one of the hardest things about coming home for these soldiers is readjusting to normal life. When they train and go through basic training, they basically take civilians and then they turn them into killers, and then they take the killers and then they just put them back into civilization and expect them to get on with life. And I think that is where people find it really difficult to readjust. And I hope that people watching this film will recognise how difficult that is for some people. I love this film so much. I'm so proud of it. We all worked so hard to make this film what it is. So the fact that it's coming out soon and that people have seen it and people have really enjoyed it and people are really impressed by it, I can't tell you like what that means to me. I'm really excited for Sierra. I think people, when they see her in this film, are going to be absolutely blown away, and every single director in Hollywood is going to want to work with her. I was so lucky that she was so ready to push herself and to make this film as truthful as possible, because the subject matter of some of the stuff that we were having to go through is so dark, and I'm so lucky that she was so ready to do that. This film could have been a real nightmare had myself and Emily not got along, and it was just great that we became really, really good friends and a really good team. So I'm really excited to sit down and watch this with her and talk about how our lives have changed since making it, and the way we look at the world and the way we look at our industry. So I'm really, really proud of this movie, and I'm really, really excited for people to see it and to hear what they think. Guys, this has been my GQ action replay of Cherry. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you enjoy the movie. Thank you again. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tom Holland. I'm going to be doing a GQ Action Point replay. Is that what it's called? Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Tom Holland. We're going to be watching... No, what is it? Why can't I remember this line? That's what I get paid to do, is remember lines, and I can't remember it. Okay, here we go. Take 327. Hi, I'm Tom Holland, and we're going to be watching my... What is it? My GQ Action replay?
Yes.
That's what it is?
You got it.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I just banged your computer. I have this thing with John Watts, who's the director of Spider-Man. I love him to bits. I absolutely love him. I'd do anything for him. But the one thing that he does that drives me mental is he always says, one more, but he never does one more. He'll do like 10 more. So now we have a jar, and every time he says one more, and he does more than one more, he's got to put $5 in the jar. And let me tell you, I'm gonna be rich. Right, let me do this. Sorry, I keep banging your laptop. I'm so sorry. Bang the table. I reckon you could make a video just in them outtakes. Be more entertaining than anything I have to say. Hi there, it's Tom Holland here. We're gonna be watching my GQ action replay. Is that right?
Yep.
And it's gonna be glorious.